Yo, what's up guys? Mike Red Fox. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to mine Firo, a privacy-based cryptocurrency with your GPU. We're going to cover how to do this in both Windows and the Linux-based mining operating system Hive OS. I'm going to show you what the best mining software is to use, how to get your first Firo wallet address, what mining pool to use, and then the approach to overclocking to get the best performance out of your GPU. Let's get started. We're going to start with Windows. There we are right now, taking a look at Firo.org. In case you need any additional resources, that's where you can go to check them out a little bit further. But let's dive right in. The first thing that we need is a piece of mining software that is going to put our GPU to work. And I've done some research, and it seems like the best one right now is SRBMiner. And you can get there from their GitHub. Speaking of, I'm going to leave links for all of this down in the video description below. We're going to cover quite a bit, so you can follow along if you want to click the links down there. So on here, all you're going to do is go down to the releases. And right now, actually, there's a brand new release. We're going to go ahead and download version 3.0.4. So let's do that. And we're going to get that for Windows, and we'll do the zip file right here. And then you're going to get into some of these errors because your browser or Windows are going to think this could be malicious. It's not. So we're going to keep this file, and we're going to say keep anyway. It's totally safe. The reason that Windows will flag for this kind of stuff is because there have been cases of people mining on other people's computers without them knowing, so taking advantage. So Windows just blocks all this stuff, and browsers just block all this stuff by default. So let's go ahead and open that, and then, yeah, we got to unzip it. So let's go back here, and we're going to extract all. Okay, great. Now that is complete. So let's go ahead and double click on that. And now we need to set up our batch file so it knows all the information necessary for us to get started mining Firo with just a single click. So you can see there's some pre-created ones down here, but you'll notice what's missing is there's nothing for start mining Firo. That's okay. There's a helpful guided setup that's going to get us started there. Okay, we're going to run that. Okay, let's name this. We're just going to name this mining Firo. Okay, can't do a space. So mining Firo. We're not going to use multi-algorithm mining. We're just going to do one. And then the algorithm name that's in that list that Firo uses called FiroPoW. Okay, now we got to enter the address and port of the mining pool that we're going to use. Now, pretty much the only mining pool available for Firo right now is going to be Wooly Pooly. It's also my favorite mining pool name of all time. So once we're on there, we're going to go down and find Firo, woolypooly.com, by the way, and we're going to click on connection, and we're going to do PPLNS because we are mining to a pool. We're not going to be solo mining in this video. I have done that in the past, though. It's a lot of fun. So here we are, USA. That's the closest one to us. We're going to copy that, come back to that command prompt, and we're going to paste that right in, and that includes the port 3104 as well. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. And the next thing we need is a wallet address for Firo. So let me show you how to do that. You're going to get out either your smartphone, or you can do this on the Mac OS, or you can also do this on Windows. Actually, I'll show you where to go. So you're going to go over to Get Firo and download wallets. And then you can see here the recommended wallet is Campfire. And that's the one I'm going to use. And that is for macOS, Linux, Android, and iOS. I've already downloaded it onto my iPhone here. So let me pull that up, and we're going to walk through creating our first Firo wallet together. So let's take a look. Let's see. There we go. All right. So I've opened Campfire for the first time, and we're just joined with Add Wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then we're going to create a new wallet. And let's just enter this wallet name, which I'm just going to call it default for now. Okay. Default wallet. There we go. Now this part is really important. So you're going to be given a 12-word recovery phrase. These are 12 unique words that if for some reason you lost access to this app, to this wallet, you could put those back in and recover all of your funds. So I'm going to go ahead and view the recovery phrase. So there's my 12 words. So you want to write these down and keep them safe because it's about to test you on the next screen. It's going to ask you if you did that and ask you which one went where. So just for this as example, test wallet here, I'm going to take a screenshot and then I'm going to save that. Don't do that. You should actually write these down. I'll mention that. So word number 2, let me go find it. Word number 2 was glove. Okay, continue. So that's it. I now have my first Firo wallet. Now I have to go get the address. So let's go ahead and tap on that wallet. And we're going to tap on receive to get my receiving address. Okay, now we have to go to the address type here. So there's 2 types. And what we need is a transparent address. That's what's going to be able to work with this pool in this mining software. So I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to paste that in to the command prompt here in a second. Back in that command prompt, and I'm just going to paste that wallet address in. There it is right there. We'll hit enter. Password, you can just put X. You don't need any. Do I enable logging? I'm not going to. No. Do I enable compute mode for maximum GPU mining performance? Sure. And then you need administrator privileges to enable compute mode. You should restart your computer. Setup is complete. Fine. We'll hit any key to continue. Okay, great. So what that has now done is created a start mining Firo batch file for me. So check this out. As soon as I double click that, it's going to launch the miner with all of that information that we inputted, and it's going to get started mining right away. So we'll wait and watch for that to happen here. All right, everything's looking good. You can see in the mining software, it's tuned to the GPU, it's connected to the pool. We have some initial hash rate results as well right there. And then most importantly, we got a share accepted. We'll let that run for a little bit and then check to make sure that it's recognized by the pool. There's one error that you might have gotten when you started your mining software, something about being out of memory. And this is because Windows may not have enough virtual memory set aside, determined by the VRAM of your GPU. And so I'm going to show you how to fix that right now. There's one thing that you need to know, and that is the amount of VRAM inside your graphics card. Now, I know, because it says it in the top of this miner right here, that my 5080 has 16 gigabytes of memory. So remember that. What you need is to just add 4 gigabytes to that. So in my case, I need 20 total gigabytes of virtual memory in Windows. Let me show you where to set that. So you're going to go over to settings. And then once you're in there, we're going to go to system. And then we're going to go to about. And then we're going to go find advanced system settings. And then in the advanced tab, there's performance. You can see virtual memory right there. We'll go to settings, advanced, and then virtual memory we're going to change. So I've already set mine in preparation for this video, but you can see the 20,480. How do I get to that? I will show you. So 1 gigabyte is equal to 1,024 megabytes. So we just got to do 1,024 times the 20 gigabytes that I need total, which again is the 16 of this GPU plus the 4 additional that I should do. That gets me 20,480. I input that in a custom size, both initial and maximum. And then when I hit set, the computer will have to restart and reload Windows in order to set that. But that's all you have to do, and then you'll no longer get that error in your mining software if you are getting that. So back in the miner, we're looking good. It's not mining efficiently right now. I haven't done any overclocks or anything yet, but we know that it works. We know that it's connected. Let's go check on the pool to see if it's showing up there yet. So I'm just going to go back up to the top here, paste in that Firo address, and then, yeah, there it is. Look, it's recognized the hash rate. This will match as time goes on, as it gets more shares submitted to the pool. And you can see I'll eventually get a balance of how much Firo I've generated based on the performance of my graphics card. And then this will pay me out over to my wallet on my phone, and then I will own that. And so we can go to finance here and look at payouts. We got nothing yet. because we just haven't generated enough Firo for the pool to pay out and then it to be finally become mine. Okay, we've covered quite a lot, but what's really important is that you get your GPU mining for the most performance for the least amount of power. Right now, I can see on my meter, I'm pulling about 340 watts for this GPU. And in the miner, it is showing less than that. So this mining software is not, software-wise, not so accurate. I'm pulling like 340 watts. And then we're just varying in hash rate here. This algorithm will do that, but you can see we're like the 50 to 53. But what I'm looking at is this column right here, the kilohash per watt. I want to get that high. Higher is better. So let's take a look at how to do this inside the mining software to give yourself the best chance here. And I'm going to pull up software called MSI Afterburner, which you may be familiar with. It's how you can overclock your GPU. We're not going to use this to do the overclocking, but we're going to use it as a guide to see where the GPU is performing at right now. Most importantly is the GPU core is at 2,857 megahertz. It's very high. I know from just my experience that the FiroPoW algorithm is very memory hard. So we're going to have to give it a significant amount of memory for it to perform the best. It doesn't use a lot of that core, and so we can save power by locking that core down at a set megahertz, and I'm going to show you how to do that inside the mining software. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of the software here, and then we're going to go to the batch file that we created together, and we're going to edit it, and then I can put some additional arguments here at the end of it. So how do I know which ones to use? We're going to go back to the SRBMiner website. Okay, we'll go back into the main page. And then in here, there's a parameters file. And this is going to show you all the additional things that you can customize in that batch file. So when that miner software launches, it does said thing. So we need to go find the GPU overclocking parameters. And there's 3 that we're going to use. So what we're going to start with is we're going to do the memory offset. So that's this one here. So I'm going to copy that one, paste it on the end. And I know, because I've tested this GPU extensively, that the memory offset in Windows is going to be 3,000, okay? I'm going to go over how you should approach your GPU here in a second once we get these plugged in. Okay, next, we're going to go back, and I'm going to get the, let's see, we need a core clock lock. That is this one here. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to paste it in. And I know from testing this specific GPU that I want to lock that core down from that high, was it in the 2,800s? I want to get it locked down to 1,800, and that's going to save me a lot of power. Okay, there's one more that we need, and then again, I will explain. We're going to go get core offset. Core offset can save me some additional power, and I'm going to put the max that I can get this GPU to do, which is 499. Okay, so let me explain a little bit of what's happening here and why I got to this overclocking for this GPU. And yours is going to be different, and that's okay. I'll give you some websites to get started, but just so you get a baseline understanding of what you want to do here. The first thing you want to do in testing this algorithm is push the memory as high as you can. Start at like the 1,000, then maybe go up in increments of like 200 until you get a crash, and then bring it back down. The 50 series GPUs can take quite a bit, and I've actually maxed it out, and it's been totally fine. So I know that this can do that 3,000. Some GPUs maybe only plus 2,000, but find that place, give it all the power it needs, and then once you've found that place, you're going to go to the core, and you're going to see in MSI Afterburner, just like we did, where the core is currently running at, and then start lowering it, locking it down at lower increments. Maybe go in 200s from there until you get to a place where you're losing efficiency. I'm going to show you how to monitor that. Once you've done that, then go to your core offset. This is just like a little bit of additional power savings, not much on this algorithm, maybe a couple watts. You probably could skip it, but if you wanted to use it, you can set it on there and then just maybe go in increments of 50 or 100 until you get a crash or don't see any more results. So let's make sure that this works. I'm going to go ahead and save this batch file, and then we'll close it out, and then we're going to go right back to Explorer here, and we're going to double click it, and we should see it set all of those overclocks as long as I've done everything properly. Oh, I haven't. One important step that you need to do on Windows, I need to run this as an administrator. So let's go ahead and right click, run as admin, yes. And then Windows will have access, the software will have access to do those clocks. You can see, boom, right there. So we got the core clock locked at 1800, and the core offset is 499, and then we've got our memory overclocked to plus 3000. Let's see if this is reflected in the mining, the MSI Afterburner yet. You can see, yep, the core is locked at that around that 1800 mark. On the 5000 series GPUs, it does like, it gets around there for whatever reason. And then as this starts mining, we should see this memory really push pretty high in the offset. So we'll let this settle out and then we'll check in. It's looking really good. You can see we've dropped hash rate. We're at 46 mega hash right now, but look how much we've also dropped wattage, significant amount. On the meter right now, it's saying about 180 watts. In the software, about 160. But our efficiency is way up there, coming in at 288 kilohash per watt. And I would expect this in my testing that I've done to be somewhere around 270 kilohash per watt, right around that range. This algorithm will fluctuate. So you definitely want to let it run for several hours, if not several days, to get a really good average reporting in the mining software for what its performance is. But I'm very happy with this. This is what I expect based on the testing that I've done on this specific GPU on this algorithm. So I think that covers how to do this in Windows. You can just let this run. It's going to provide some heat. It's not going to harm the GPU. It's just like if you were doing like an extensive gaming session, but you could just let this run and it will create Firo, it'll sit on the pool, and the pool will essentially pay you out to the wallet in the app, wherever you've downloaded it. From there, you can do whatever you'd like with it. We'll go into that just a little bit later in this video. But next, what I'd like to show you is how to do this in Hive OS, a Linux-based operating system. It makes this whole process much easier. And if you have a dedicated computer that you can do just for this, I think it's absolutely the way to go. So let me get rebooted and I'll see you there. Wait till you see how easy this is to set up in Hive OS compared to Windows. There's definitely a benefit to using a specifically Linux-based mining operating system. We're looking at my Hive OS right now, and the first thing we need to do is add in a wallet. So I'm gonna hit add wallet here, type in Firo, and then just paste in that wallet address from the Campfire wallet that we created earlier. Hit create. Next thing we need to do is create a flight sheet. So I'm going to go in here, type in Firo. It already knows that Campfire wallet because I just added it. The pool we're going to use is the same. That's Wooly Pooly. And we're going to do USA, PPLNS. We're going to hit apply. And I'm going to choose that same mining software, SRB Multi, and we're going to create that flight sheet. There it is. Okay, so now we're going to go back to workers, find test bench here, go to flight sheet, and then we're going to hit the little rocket symbol on that flight sheet I just created, and it's going to start mining. So what I need to do in order to see this happening live is go over here and go to Hive Shell Start. Now, I have to do that because I'm not on the same IP address subnet as the mining test bench is right here. You'd also do this if you're like away from your miner, but otherwise you can just click on the IP address if you're on the same local area network and it'll open the same thing in a new window. So I've got this little symbol here. I can click on that, type in miner. And now the mining software is ready to go. It's loading up right now, but there's one step we still have to do. I'm going to go back to Hive OS. And I'm going to set those same overclocks. So core clock offset, we know is 499. I'm going to lock the core at 1800. Now the memory offset is just a little bit different. You have to double the number than you did in Windows. So in Windows we use 3000. In Linux we're going to use 6000. I'm going to hit apply there. It's applied those overclocks now to the RTX 5080 in this test bench right here. I can go back. You can see in the shell it is starting to mine. Power is around 183 watts right now, and this will show the same results that we were used to when we were looking in Windows. From there, your Firo is just going to sit and accumulate on the mining pool until it reaches its minimum payout, which you can see by default is 0.1 Firo. You can change this if you want to make it higher, so it sits on the pool longer, maybe less transactions depending on your situation. But when it reaches 0.1, it's going to pay out to that Campfire wallet, and you can just let it sit there and accumulate. Or one thing you can do with it, once you have a good amount, is you can trade it. And so when we go over to CoinGecko here, you can see Firo's had some amazing price action, up 600% over the last 3 months, which made me look at what are the markets, where is this trading right now? And the one that I was happy to see that I do use right now, I can't vouch for it, I've only used it for about a month, but it's been great, and I can access it here in the US, is Biconomy. So I'll leave a link to this down in the video description. You can sign up for an account on here, and the pairing that they have is Tether, so you can exchange your Firo for Tether, which is a stable coin that is pegged to the US dollar. And then from there, you can really do whatever else you want with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Old school video GPU mining today. Why not? I was doing it anyway. Felt like filming it, old school style. But if you want to get into Bitcoin mining, I have a video linked on the screen right here. This is my favorite at-home Bitcoin miner. This is the one I would recommend to my friends and family to get started. And then underneath that, I have a really amazing Bitcoin miner that I'm using right now because it's chilly here to heat my home. So check out those videos. Otherwise, please take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you in the next one.